Great to have you listening today on a Wednesday. That's right. I know what day it is.
Fool me once.
Thank you. Thank you. By the way, Rusty, our fact checker, he does this. He laid in wait for 6 days. It was last Thursday that I introduced this program and said, welcome to Wednesday. But it was actually Thursday. I was making a point that I had seen a local news broadcaster call Wednesday Friday Eve. So Rusty sits with that for 6 days and emailed me at the crack of dawn this morning, the moment I got here, and said, Happy Friday Eve. He does that. He just lays in wait. That's what Rusty does. Full snark on.
Oh, yeah.
Always on these things. I do know today is Wednesday. By the way, it's the last day of April. It means tomorrow I will have your things to look forward to in May.
Will you?
I plan on having that.
Well, you'll have them, but will you get to them?
Will I get to them?
Or will we get to May 10th, and you're like, I still got to do the things in May?
That's Chris Demm's wife's birthday.
Oh.
What? May 10th.
It's weird that you still know that.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Biggie.
10 May. Always known it. That's her birthday. This is not an award-winning broadcast. That's the whole thing. Kristen was just telling us that this is interesting to me. Inside broadcasting, he used to work with a morning radio show in Richmond, Virginia, where he's from.
Yeah, I was just a part-timer. These guys were big stars. They had TV commercials. They had billboards. They drove spiffy cars. And one of them drove a Corvette for a year. One of them drove a really sweet Audi because they had car deals.
Flashy.
Whoa.
Flashy.
Oh, yeah. They did not play.
Oh,
Those were the good days.
Oh, the salad days.
Oh, man, yeah. The mid-'80s. Shoot.
So now, here we are all these years later. Well, the name of the show is Love and Hudson. Is that what you said?
Love and Hudson were the names. When I worked with them, they were called the Love Brothers, which Big and I kind of agree is a better name.
Oh, agree.
I love that name.
It's a fantastic name for a morning show.
So they are being inducted into a Hall of Fame. They were in South Carolina, then Virginia.
Then I think back to the
South
Greenville
Carolina.
area.
So they are being inducted into the
South Carolina Entertainment and Music Hall of Fame.
That's a lofty goal. I mean,
Isn't it?
that's I'm here all these many years later. And they are going to be presumably on stage together next or in a couple of weeks. May 10th on Chris Demm's wife's birthday.
What?
And
I learned about that's weird.
That's right.
I learned about it because I have reconnected with Mr. Love through social media.
all these years later.
Yeah, he's the one who posted it, and I said, congratulations, well earned. And,
Yeah.
hundreds of people are congratulating him. He doesn't know me. I was just a part-timer.
Still.
Just like you. You don't know anybody who works here other than Biggie and myself.
Remember my declaration when I was a part-time DJ?
No.
People was this is 1990. I was a part-time DJ, and people said, "Give me some coffee, kid," or whatever.
Go grab the paper.
Yeah, exactly.
It was the 90s.
Exactly. All these things.
Where's my Coke?
That's right.
Which one?
And I thought to myself, they never even knew my name, and I thought to myself, I'll always know the part-timers. I will always know their.
I'm not going to be like that.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly right. Now, fast forward 30 years, and I don't know any of the part-timers.
Yeah, you were exactly like that.
Half the sales team.
I don't even know them. When I saw, we mentioned yesterday this kid Dawson, who's great worker. He works promotions here for us. I saw him at an event on Saturday. A lot of people think he's my son. He's tall, like myself, ruggedly handsome. And so I went up to him and I said, "It is so great to meet you." And he said, "We've met 6 times." I'm the one people
Remember all the comedy shows?
Yeah.
The whole tour last year, too?
Remember we were in that truck together?
I brought you several drinks.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forget now who they are.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So, Chris Demm congratulates.
I did. And then the Bill Love is the guy's name. And I just happened to remember, like 6 months ago, somebody asked him, because he was doing radio, I think, a solo show in Greenville. And someone asked him, "Hey, whatever happened to Howard?"
The other guy.
You're the other guy. And he wrote simply 2 words, No idea.
No idea. And they were together for hours.
I mean, a bond.
In the studio, just like this group right here, just like the three of us, the three best friends that anybody will ever have. You're together. You form that bond, that
Blood brothers.
connective tissue is right there. Blood brothers, exactly. And so, interestingly,
I'm assuming they'll reunite next week.
they'll be on the stage together. It'll be the first time they've seen each other in years.
Yeah.
They just went their separate ways. You know?
Well, if you look at for instance, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductions, bands have been inducted there with a lot of bad blood
that's true.
between them.
They don't get along. They don't even get along. Not
Journey,
right?
Yeah.
Blondie.
Yeah.
I mean, the examples are too long to list.
I was at an oyster roast on Saturday. You all know this. At that roast,
Things to look forward to in May. Dwindling of the oyster roast stories. I'm going to mark that one down.
He's right.
correct. I am almost out.
You were living off that oyster.
I am almost out of oyster roast stories. I had back-to-back events. Heavy equipment, oyster roast. It was at heavy equipment where Dawson, my son, told me I hate Tom Petty.
That's right.
That news broke. Tom Petty's American Girl came on. I said, "There's never been anybody better than Tom Petty." He goes, "I hate Tom Petty."
That's why you'll now know Dawson forever.
Yeah. Blood boil.
Petty hater.
Petty
Yeah.
hater.
You might forget his name, but you'll remember his face and say, "That's the guy that doesn't like Tom Petty."
Exactly. That guy. That beanpole didn't like Tom Petty. I can't tell you how many emails I got yesterday saying, "Agree with Dawson. I don't like Tom
Oh, really?
Petty." Mm-hmm.
I thought they were going to say fire him.
No, many said, "I agree. I don't like Tom Petty either." And even more said, B.B. Shay's onto something. Godfather is the most boring, awful movie. I've tried to sit through it and watch it 10 times and can't get through it. It's so boring.
I got one of those too, and I wrote back, I don't argue with Philistines.
Boy, burn.
Well, if you didn't like The Godfather, you definitely Googled Philistine.
I don't know. I wouldn't know, honestly, if that was a compliment toward me
No,
or a burn.
I don't argue with Philistines. You. You.
Oh, thank you so much.
I don't either.
That is so.
Somebody called me that at an oyster roast.
I'm glad you mentioned that oyster roast.
Back to the oyster roast. Oh, God.
I was at an oyster roast on Saturday.
What'd they do there?
I can't tell you the number.
Who was in charge of roasting, by the way?
The oysters?
Was it a restaurant or just some dudes?
Restaurant.
Okay.
It was a place
Professionals.
called pros.
Good.
Okay.
I mean, the oysters looked very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't have one. Many people said, "You're going to have an oyster." I
Oh,
said,
really? I figured you might indulge.
Did they come all the different ways, like fried, roasted, and raw?
Yep, they did them all the different ways. Mostly they roasted them there on the half shell, and then you had the hot sauce and the cracker. Typical. I guess some people probably had them raw, but they were outside doing the roasting, and then inside you could get them any way you wanted. Nonetheless, when I was there, this is back to your story about the Love brothers who went their separate ways after that. Many
Intense
years
bond.
of being on together, they went their separate ways. A few people came up to me, as always, when I was out at the oyster roast saying, "Hey, where's Demm, man? Where's Chris Demm?" And I said, "I don't know. He's probably at some fancy restaurant. What do I know? I don't give a crap. What do I know where he is today? It's
I'm
Saturday."
standing in front of you.
That's right. It's Saturday. What do you think? We're not together. What do I care where he is?
Dang, man, I'm just asking.
Ask me where Biggie is. I got one liner for that one, too.
Yeah. Probably the hospital.
Yeah, it's probably the hospital.
B.B. Shea, stuffing his face on a golf course.
Yeah, he's stuffing his
Probably
face
eating a
full
hot
of it.
dog.
Probably eating a hot dog right now. I say to Kristen, probably some fancy restaurant I never go to.
Dang, man.
Yeah.
Just asking you a question.
Just
Trying to
like
make
your
small
shows
talk.
all.
Yeah, just trying to make some small.
Big fan.
What is it? Yeah, exactly. I just say that to him. So, years from now, when we're inducted into the Entertainment Hall of Fame in whatever state, the two of us will see each other and be like, "Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There he is."
Yeah.
You really let yourself go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I see you gained the weight back. Yeah, I did. Did you get that thing cut off your face? I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
All of that. Yeah.
Oh, I hadn't seen you since Biggie's memorial service.
That was a good day, wasn't
I didn't
it?
go.
I wasn't there.
That'll be Chris Demm. I didn't go.
Missed you at Biggie's memorial service.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't
Sorry.
go.
Couldn't make
Getting
that.
my hip replaced.
Right. Couldn't make it. My wife emailed me today, or actually texted
Email?
me.
Oh, okay.
Texted me today.
Already?
Already at 4:30 this morning. She keeps odd hours
Wow.
sometimes. She'll just get up. She does. It's interestingly probably because the dog woke her up.
Oh.
The dog has to go out, and so and the dog keeps very early hours. Very. Of course, I'm usually gone, but like when
That's not the part you can't fold that into your morning duties before you leave.
No, I always get up and the dog is sound asleep, and I leave. I think the dog gets up about 4:30 or 5:00, almost every morning.
Yeah.
In fact, when we took the dog to the beach on vacation recently, that was the pattern. About
Really?
5:00, yeah, the dog gets up.
My dog knows, where I live is kind of like loft style.
Mm-hmm.
And her little area's on the other side of where, like, the bedroom area is. And she's so in tune, I think, with me that I'll be getting ready, but when I actually start putting on my clothes, it's like she knows. I'll hear her jump down, and she'll come over on the other side and just kind of look at me like, all right, let me out before you go.
Well, they get that way, don't they?
They
learn
know.
cues and
Yeah.
patterns.
My wife, texted me. She had read 11 oddly cute behaviors of a person who loves their dog maybe a little too much. And she does all 11 of these. Every single thing.
Does it open with kiss your dog on the mouth?
Yes, kiss your dog on the mouth. It could be 11 oddly cute behaviors of white people that love their dogs. They left out the white people.
The white people, yeah.
Is it white women?
Is it the white women that love?
Is it? I mean, do you think most of these are women?
Well, I do.
Or you
I do
some of them too?
these. She does all of them.
Yeah.
Kiss your dog in the mouth.
Biggie?
Look on.
Oh, no, I think I've told you guys this. My
You
dog
won't
is
do it.
not she does not get in your face. She wants you to pet her, but she's not a dog. Even if she sniffs up near your face, she just never licked anybody in the face.
I eat in my chaise. Full disclosure. And sometimes I'll spill a few crumbs, even unbeknownst to me, onto my chest or torso.
Is this the healthy food or the non-healthy foods back in those days?
Both. First, now more healthy foods. But sometimes I'll get
Like a salmon bone?
or chicken bits or something down there, And my dog knows, again, this is those cues your dog picks up on. After I'm done and I've put the plate to the side, here she comes, and she'll just come and get right up in my face and sniff all over
Not
me.
for affection.
No.
Clean up.
For food, cleaning up, which is really great. And it's at that point that I kiss my dog in the mouth. I'm like, you come over, kiss me.
Thanks for cleaning up that
Thanks for
tuna.
cleaning, Daddy.
You're so good, girl.
So wonderful. Kiss your dog in the mouth.
Number one.
Is that D.C. Curry who?
Oh, yeah.
Talking about, he's the one that says, white people always kiss your dog
in the mouth.
And he's all right.
Nobody delivers the line like DC.
Yeah,
Curry.
we'll do that.
Nobody.
We will do that. White people always doing that kind of thing. Anyway, but there are 10 others that happens with this. Let's see here. They have a whole collection of nicknames for the dog, and that's true. Our dog's name is Annie, but she's called 6 different things.
100%.
Do you have a nickname for your dog?
My dog's name is Cora, and I call her Cor.
Mm-hmm.
I call her Sweets.
Yep.
She answers to a million different. I bet, like parents, the only time I use Cora is when I'm like, she's doing something she shouldn't be, or I'm calling her to hurry up.
To correct her.
Yeah.
Right. We call her Annie Bell, AB, Mama's Little Angel, Mama's Spicy Nugget, Squish Monster, Mama's Spicy Little Chicken Nugget one day came in. She's like,
wow.
I think she had eaten a nugget off my chest.
Aw.
And my wife said, you spicy little chicken nugget, get over here. This is what we do.
Ma'am, this is a Burger King. You can't have your dog in here.
This is what we do with our dogs. Celebrate the animal's birthday. We do that. We festoon her.
100%.
We give her extra things. We buy presents for the dog on her birthday.
Absolutely.
And she wears her birthday collar, which I've showed you.
I've seen some of the outfits, yeah.
In fact, she has a festooned collar for every holiday. St. Patrick's, Super Bowl Sunday, Valentine's Day.
What is Mother's Day like at your home? Celebrate your wife and also Annie the dog?
I was going to ask, will you get a gift from Annie, or one of your children get a gift from Annie to your wife as well?
Yes. And our dog Annie, who has given birth to 35 puppies, which has been well chronicled, also gets little extra treats for Mother's Day because, of course, she's a mom herself. In fact,
That's what I mean, yeah.
anytime Annie does something like, a couple of things have happened recently. If she barks, sometimes she'll just kind of bark, incessantly. And I was like, this damn dog. And my wife will say, she's given birth to 35 puppies. Give her a break. For God's sake. Did I tell you I suggested she not come on vacation with us anymore?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That went over like a turd in a punch bowl, I can tell you that.
I'm sure.
Absolutely. This animal goes where we go. Sleep in weird positions so that the dog is comfortable every night. We curl up in different spots on the bed
Okay.
so that the dog will be, and the dog sleeps better than anybody. The dog doesn't need her CPAP machine. She just snoozes away right there. We do that. This one we do. My wife does this. When the dog sneezes, she said, "Oh, bless you."
Oh, my God.
That's true.
Oh, God.
We do that too.
Bless you.
Bless you, sweetie. Are you okay? Are you okay? Is Mama's little spicy nugget okay? She's a sneezy girl. You're sneezy. You know, we do a lot of that.
Oh, yeah.
Use the baby talk. That's the next one.
Baby talk.
Baby talk to the dog.
Yeah, I think almost all pet owners probably do that.
Mm-hmm. Cancel plans to be with the dog. If something's going on with the dog, you cancel plans.
Yeah, I will. I'll say yes, I would. If the dog was sick or something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if she's just to cancel him just to be with the dog, no. But if she was sick, I'd be like, I'm not leaving.
Well, now, sometimes my wife is invited to things and will say no if she's like, doesn't want to be out of town for a day or a weekend because the dog has anxiety. The dog misses my wife when she's gone. Remember, she drags out
Oh, that's right.
all her panties and her PJs and all that stuff. When my wife comes home, there are panties littering the floor. And she takes that as a great sign of great respect. You know,
It's not that Daddy's been partying.
Yeah.
No. No. It's the dog.
Not that Dad's had some sort of kink party.
No.
It's the dog, honey. I swear.
And for you, just once you want to walk in with panties on the floor and it not be the dog.
Right. It'd be nice just once.
I followed the trail.
Just one time.
I followed the trail to the bedroom. It was the dog. Oh.
And a chicken nugget.
Wouldn't it be not just once?
Just once.
If there was some sort of great
An actual trail.
Yeah.
A romance trail.
A romance trail of all these little trinkets and pajamas and panties.
I followed the trail up. It was the dog. It's always going to be the dog. Oh.
I'm napping. Get out. Exactly. And finally, we'll show off pictures of the dog to anyone and everyone. We have more than 40,000 photographs of that.
Yeah.
And they all pretty much look the same. But
Yeah.
you know,
I just put up a picture of my dog last night. I'm very guilty of it.
I know.
Well, I don't show them off, but I will occasionally post a picture of the animal or cats on like Instagram. If they're doing something, if I think it's kind of artistic or just very catty.
I don't know how you would take this. Someone said to me at the Oyster Roast, somebody said to me, "Does Chris Demm have a cat?" And I said, "Oh, he has 4 cats." And the guy nodded his head and said, "I thought so."
I'll take that over here.
I think that's probably in an insulting way.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes
I don't think he meant it in a.
It makes a lot of sense.
Oh, cats are wonderful.
This is DC Curry on dogs.
I really defended white folk for a long time. I defended white figure. In the OJ trial, I was with you. I believe OJ killed everybody on that damn block that night. He was in a badass mood, and I went along when they opened the tanning booths. A lot of black folks say they want to be like us. Yeah, to a degree. They want your skin tone. They may not want your credit report, but they want your... When they started bungee jumping, a lot of black folks said they were crazy. No, they need a challenge. White folks need a challenge. Let them jump off a building with a rubber band wrapped around their neck, hoping it stop them before they bust their head wide open. That's a challenge for them. But they went overboard when they called me with the pet motel the other day. And they called me and asked me about putting my dog in the pet motel for $9 a night. I don't put my damn dog nowhere for $9 a night. This crazy-ass dog ain't bought me no newspaper in 12 years. They all on the front porch. Ain't brought me my house shoes. I got calluses on my feet now. I think I'm gonna put this lazy-ass dog in a pet motel. They said, well, we heard you take vacations, and a dog of that sort ought to be put up somewhere. I said, of this sort? They say, yeah. What kind of dog is it? I don't know what kind of damn dog this is. They say, well, when you bought it, didn't you get the papers? When I bought it? Black folk don't buy no damn dog. Somebody gives your ass a dog. A king and queen across the street had puppies, and one of them wandered up on your steps. You gave him some fried chicken and some meatloaf, and he won't goddamn leave. You know what kind of damn dog this is? They say, well, do you take vacation? Yes, I do. Well, what you do with your dog when you take a vacation? I do the same thing my daddy did. I tie his ass up to a tree in the backyard, give him a big-ass bucket of food and a big-ass bucket of water and say, I'll see your ass in 2 or 3 weeks. I know the dog ain't that bright. Gonna eat up all the food the first day, turn the water over the second day, and wrap his ass around the tree about 17 times. But when I get back 3 weeks later, he's right there where I left him, and I ain't spent a damn dime.
What a difference in the way we treat our dog versus how DC Curry treats his dog.